We have an expert joining us tonight to help us do a little better job of keeping those lines open at home. Joining me is psychologist Dr. Chloe Carmichael. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Ernie.
I like the subject a lot. We all can use some communication skills. And, you know, when we're talking about at home now, there are a lot of people involved. So I want to break it down a little bit. Let's start with couples, okay? That's kind of the basis for a lot of relationships at home.
Well, with couples these days, a lot of, two working families, people are really hectic. So something that can be nice to help couples recenter and talk at the end of every day is what I call the high-low game. So at the end of the day, you and your spouse each tell each other what was the high point and the low point of your day.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, that sort of keeps it current and connected to knowing exactly what's going on in your life every day. I like that instead of losing time. That's good advice. Let's talk about children. You know, we both are very familiar with kids, and you're a new mom too, especially. When it comes to children, you know, there are different ages that you have to work at and trying to maintain a certain balance. How do you handle that?
Well, with kids, I feel like one important thing is to have the phone-free dinner. And that goes for the kids as well as the parents. And it actually also cuts across all ages now because, we have 5-year-olds with tablets.
Right.
And so when I say phone-free dinner, what I really even mean is device-free dinner.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about, when you're trying to maintain control with your children, but at the same time you want mutual respect for one another too? That's important.
Yeah, well, I think it's important to remember that with kids, providing guidance and boundaries is actually part of respect. That's part of the role that we're supposed to fulfill for children. So when we can do that in a loving way, in a consistent way, and also pepper in lots of love and praise and affection, then the whole thing works really well.
Okay, quickly, there are two other groups. Let's talk about relatives, right? And parents are usually very close to your family. Yeah, talk about communication skills there. How do you handle it?
Yeah, with parents, I think that it's important for the family unit, the husband and wife, to let their mom and dad know how much they really appreciate that input and to have that older generation around.
Right.
But at the same time, the husband and wife have to make it really clear that this is their home and their household. And so when, maybe the in-laws are trying to say plan out the holidays, a handy phrase can be, let me check with my spouse.
Oh, that's smart.
Mom, that's a great idea. Let me just check with my husband. So that way the mom feels heard and like she's part of the mix.
That's a good way to handle it.
But she's also not bulldozing.
So Chloe, general rule of thumb when we're talking about relationships and communicating with our family, I like that high and low kind of thing. That works with everything, doesn't it?
It does, it does. The high and low is great. Another way that you can think about it sometimes is when you're listening to someone to ask, what does this person need from me right now? Because that keeps you focused on their needs, but also reminds you of your own value.
Good stuff. Good communication skills. Dr. Chloe Carmichael, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.